Hey guys, I'm Joshua from Authentic Aquatics, wishing you and your aquariums the best. Back in December, I ended up having the opportunity to get a fish I really wanted. Now you might recall I had a 20-gallon planted aquarium which I took apart to make a quarantine system for any future discus I got. Because I didn't have another available aquarium, I had to make some tough decisions. So I ended up using my quarantine tank as the habitat for this new fish. This particular fish originates from Lake Tanganyika in Africa. And I'm going to warn you, the sides of the aquarium have a little bit of algae on them, and I'll get to why I haven't cleaned it off as well as I should have later. So here I am with the tank now, and the fish that is in here is Julidochromis Transcriptus. So if you don't know, Julidochromis is a genus with 6 species, and they all are found in the rockwork of Lake Tanganyika, so either on the shelves or in rocky outcrops. And they establish territories so that a breeding pair can establish a colony of different generations of offspring. Julidochromis are sought after because of their color, for one thing. They have a beautiful dark black that is contrasted by a vibrant white, and then on their pectoral fins they tend to have a nice yellow tint, and then on the dorsal, anal, and caudal fin they have a nice blue outline. So some people consider them as nice as saltwater fish, and that's why in the freshwater hobby they have such a great reputation, but they can be kind of hard to find. The other thing that makes this fish really desirable is that they have a very interesting breeding pattern, which I mentioned very briefly, and that's that they're colony fish, and so you'll have multi-generational young under a male and female pair, and they'll raise them until they're a certain age, and then they'll kick them out of the nest to go start their own colony. So it's really cool to see several different ages working together like that to form a working society, which will eventually spread to other outcrops of rock. Now these guys do pose a few breeding problems, and that gets us to why the tank is kind of dirty. The water quality is great, but as you can see, the sides haven't been maintained as well as they should have. And that's because I have a breeding pair right here. So there's the male and there's the female. I can't tell you which is which because they're really secretive about breeding, but if I were to get in there and do too much cleaning, I could break that pair bond. And when a pair bond is broken, it tends to end in death of one of the members. So I'm very careful when messing with this tank because I want to keep that bond, and that's why I've also left their fry in there a little bit longer than I would with other fish. One thing I cannot stress enough is the importance of territory to these fish and to their relationship. You might notice that this tank is kind of sparse on rockwork, which is still fine. It doesn't adversely affect the pair. They still obviously are breeding and doing very well. And of course the aggression between the pair is limited and towards their offspring as well at this stage in the game. But if I were to add more rockwork, or if I were to take something away, which obviously I wouldn't, it could break the pair bond as well, because everything is related to territory. So you have to really play this game carefully if you want to ensure the health of the pair and the longevity of their relationship. I found these fish to be highly adaptable to water parameters. I certainly didn't modify my pH for my tap, but as you can see, they're happy, healthy, breeding, eating really well. That's the next thing I'll say, is that their food requirements, if you have flakes and a few pellets just to diversify the diet a little bit, you're set. These guys are not fickle eaters. These guys must have pretty small stomachs because they don't eat a lot on a daily basis, and so you definitely need to watch for overfeeding. Beyond that, if you want to start a colony, I would suggest sort of doing what you do with angelfish, which is buying 5 or 6 individuals, putting them in a tank and seeing who pairs off, and then remove the others. What's kind of interesting in my group is that my breeding pair, out of the 5 that I got, they actually adopted one of the other members that I put in here, and they've designated that one to literally live under their rock and take care of their babies. So he's completely allowed in the territory as long as what he's doing is what they want him to do. So I really hope this video has helped you to see just how interesting Julidochromis transcriptus are, as well as the other Lake Tanganyika cichlids. Before I end this video, I want to say that next week I'll be spending my spring break in Miami, Florida. I hope to go to the Everglades, see a few of the local fish shops, and the works. So I will definitely be posting video updates, so subscribe if you want to see that. Again, I hope this video helped you, and as always, wishing you and your aquariums the best.